Production planning and control. Next topic. Production planning and control. So production planning and control is one of the most important areas of industrial management. Actually, this aims at achieving the efficient utilization of the resources. The objective of production and planning and control. It name itself tells us planning the production process and as well as how to control it to increase the efficiency by increasing the utilization of the resources. So the objective is to increase efficiency by effective utilization of resources. To increase efficiency by effective utilization of resources. So how we effectively utilize the resources by planning, coordination and control of production activities. So phases, there are three phases in production planning and control. One is pre-planning and planning different resource. Second step is planning different resources. Third step is control. So pre-planning is nothing but production, product development and designing, process design, workstation design, factory layout and location. So phases of production planning and control. So first phase is pre-planning the layouts. In this, first step is product development. And design. Second step is process design. Pre-planning. Third is workstation design. These are all pre-planning steps. Fourth is factory layout and location. So planning different resources, second step. In this, planning material, how much material we need for production, and planning method, what method we need to use, and machine, what type of machines we need, men, labor. Actually, this is more important. So control, next final step. So control is how to control the productivity, how to control the quality by inspection, expedition, evaluation, dispatching. So these are the steps in each phase of the production. If you are producing any product in a manufacturing company, you need to take care of all these steps. See, in production planning control steps, routing is a process of deciding the sequence of operations. So, routing is a process of deciding sequence of operations to be performed during production process. Routing is a process of deciding sequence of operations to be performed during production process. So the main objective of routing is the selection of best and cheapest way to perform job. Procedure for routing is, first step is conduct an analysis of the main of the product to determine the part or component sub-assemblies required to be processed. Second is conduct an analysis to determine the material needed for the product. Third is determine the required manufacturing operations and their sequence. Determine the lot size. Determine the scrap. Estimate product cost. Prepare different forms of production control. So you need to decide the routing, the sequence of operations performed during the production process such that maximize the production, minimize the cost. So in that you need to consider all these things. Second is scheduling. Another one important thing. So scheduling involves fixing the priorities for different jobs and deciding the starting and finishing time of each job. So main purpose of scheduling is to prepare timetable indicating the time and the rate of production as indicated by starting and finishing time of activity. Scheduling will be discussed in detail anyway. So scheduling involves fixing the priorities for different jobs, deciding the starting and finishing time of each job. Scheduling involves fixing the priorities for different jobs and deciding the starting and finishing time of each job. So we discuss each scheduling technique entirely. So scheduling involves fixing the priorities for different jobs. So priority here is actually first come first serve, also sequencing concept also will come into scheduling. And deciding the starting and finishing time of each job. Deciding the starting and finishing time of each job. So the main purpose of scheduling is to prepare a timetable indicating the time and rate of production. It's preparation of timetable when what is the sequence of jobs has to go and which machine it has to go first and which machine it has to go next up, like which job has to go on which machine when. So that gives scheduling. And next is dispatching. So dispatching is the selection and sequencing of available jobs to be run in the individual workstations and assignments of those jobs to workers. So dispatching is a selection and sequencing of available jobs to be run at the individual workstations and assigning those jobs to workers. So functioning of dispatching are in under collecting and issuing work center, ensuring right material, tools, parts, jigs and fixtures are available, issues authorization to start work at the predetermined date and time, distribute machine loading and schedule charts. So dispatching is the selection and sequencing of available jobs. Selection and sequencing of available jobs to be run at the individual workstations. Next is expediting. So this is the final stage of production planning control. It is used for ensuring that the work is carried out as per plans and due dates are met. So this is also called as cross checking. So the main objective is to arrest deviations from plan. Another objective is to integrate different production activities to meet the production target. So the following activities are done in the expediting phase: watching progress of the production process, identifying of delays, disruptions, physical control of work in progress through the checking, expediting correction measures, coordinating with other departments, report any production related problems. So expediting is the final stage in production planning and control. It is used for ensuring that the work is carried out. It is used for ens- ensuring that the work is carried out as per plans and due dates are met. So the main objective is to arrest the deviations from plan. Another objective is to integrate the different production activities to meet the production target. The following activities are done in expeditation phase. So the following activities we need to check in this phase. So first activity is watching the progress of production process, watching the progress of production process. Next is identification of delays, disruptions. Physical control of work in process through checking. So one more question they may ask that, you know, report any production related problems in which of the following process, like dispatching, scheduling, expediting, like that. Physical control of work in progress through checking coordinating with other departments is another one. Report any production related problems. This is important. Report any production related problems. There is any problem in the production planning, then you have to check, verify it, and you have to report that. So out of this scheduling, we discuss in scheduling there is another one is sequencing. The sequencing is the which sequence we need to assign the which preference order we need to give for the doing operations. So that explains the sequencing concept. The preference order of jobs manufactured. So here actually in sequencing there are different methods how you give preference to a particular job. So these are all discussed under sequencing. So first method is first come first serve, FCFS, which is also called first in first out, like that, first come first serve. So whichever the job comes first is serviced first. Whichever job comes first is serviced first. All, like any, even if you go and stand for a queue somewhere, they will serve you as first come first serve. Similarly for machines also, if the job is moving from, suppose if 10 jobs are coming to the one machine, whatever comes first it do the operation that for that one, then it will select the next object, and it will do, suppose if first is drilling operation, object came here and drilling operation is done, and next another component came for that also, next drilling operation, like that. So for each component, whatever the component first comes into the machine area, so it will pick up that and it will do the corresponding operation. That is about first come first serve. Next is last come first serve. So whichever job comes last is served first. This is very rarely used. Whichever job, not important, this one, job comes first is served last, or whichever job comes last is served first. Whichever job comes last, served first. So that is about last come first serve. Next is SPT, shortest processing time. This is one of the important methods. Like for example, there are five suppose for example in terms of machines components, five components came, and for one component it will take the operation takes for 2 minutes, another for remaining another four components it will take 10 minutes each. So the 2 minutes component, even though it came last, so it is preferred first because it can complete the process very fast. The operation takes less time, such that you can complete one operation in less time. So shortest processing time, whichever job is having shortest processing time is scheduled first. Next is longest processing time. Whichever the job is having longest processing time is scheduled first. Next, EDT, earliest due date. So this is one of the another sequencing process which the job whichever is having earliest due date is scheduled first. So whichever the job you want to deliver first, you need to process that one first, because that is more important. You need to meet the deadline. Whichever whichever job is having earliest due date is scheduled first. These are the different methods, sequencing process, and here we need to do one by one each method. Few problems we do and a few old gate questions. So before going to this problem, we have to take one simple formula. Critical ratio technique. Another method is critical. So critical ratio. What is critical ratio? Critical ratio equal to date promised date minus today's date. Whatever due date. Promised date means due date, delivery date. Promised date minus today's date by remaining processing time. So if critical ratio is equal to 1, then the job is on schedule. If critical ratio is less than 1, then the job is behind the schedule. It is greater than 1, then the job is ahead of the schedule. So when the job is behind the schedule, then you need to think of something, that there is time. You need to look at the process where how much processing time it is taking. If the after calculating the critical ratio for each job, whichever is job having less critical ratio is scheduled first. Whichever whichever job is having less critical ratio is scheduled first. So most popular rules for scheduling are, as we have discussed, that first come first serve is one of the universal rule. Shortest processing time is another rule, and earliest due date. So here we have to remember few, why shortest processing time is better. So first come first serve. It's a universal acceptance where it's applicable for all any, not only in machining process. It's applicable to general any, wherever you go in any queue formation, there first come first serve only they follow. So shortest processing time advantage is, if you shortest processing time, it minimizes the mean flow time. It minimizes the number of lazy jobs, number of the jobs in the queue. If you use the shortest processing time, it minimizes the number of jobs in queue, because you are processing the job which is having less processing time first. So you can reduce the number of jobs in queue. Another method is earliest due date. It minimizes the mean tardiness but makes more jobs tardy. Okay. So few notations. Processing time equal to Ti. Wait time equal to Wi. Completion time equal to Ci equal to Wi plus Ti. So I waited 10 minutes in the queue, and the process takes for me 50 minutes. Completion time the total completion time of the system is com- waiting time plus processing time. Delivery time Di. Lateness equal to completion minus Di. So if this value is positive, then it is called tardiness. Tardiness or lateness, both are same. If this value is equal to 0, then the job is on schedule. So exact schedule. Whatever you are planning, it is showing. Negative means early job. So late is also called tardiness. And another one, if the completion time and delivery time both are same, so you are delivering on time. And if the positive means you are delivering late, that means tardiness. If it is negative means you are delivering early. So these are the tardiness or lateness. So GATE 2010 question. Question number 2 in page number 103 in GATE Academy material. ME 2010. 2 marks question. The 4 marks question, sorry. It is a linked answer question. Question number 3. 2. The data he has given is 4 jobs to be processed on machine as per the data listed in the table. 4 jobs has to be processed in the machine. So the table he has given in the problem is jobs 1, 2, 3, 4, and processing time in days 4, 7, 2, 8, and due date 6, 9, 19, 17. So for example, to understand it clearly, job 1 required 4 days of processing to complete that, and it has to deliver in 6 days at any time. So the first question is, third question, if the earliest due date rule is used to sequence the jobs, the number of jobs delayed the number of jobs delayed is. So option A is 1, option B is 2, option C is 3, option D is 4. So for this you need to calculate the lateness we have, right? So this is we have to calculate that one. Earliest due date. First of all, you need to, based on earliest due date, whichever is having, you have to give the sequence of the jobs is 1, next is 2, next is 4, next is 3. So the sequence of the jobs has to follow in this order for based on the earliest due date rule. Why? Because job 1 is having least earliest due date, so you need to deliver it early. So that's why we are giving first preference. Next highest is in 6 days, first job you need to deliver. In 9 days you need to deliver second job. So that's why before delivering the second job you need to deliver compulsorily first job. Third job is having 19 days, so before third job you need to deliver fourth job. That's why the fourth job is given preference, earliest due date. This is a sequence. Write that sequence here. Job again. Processing time I am giving in shortcut Ti. I have given again, I don't want to write the processing time. Due date is Di, delivery time. Job is 1, 2, 4, 3, and the processing time is for 1, processing time is 4, for 2, 7, for 4, 8, for 3, 2, and completion time. So after 4 days it will be completed. So this job will take 7 days. So 7 plus 4, 11 days. So after 11 days this job will get completed. 11 plus 8, 19. After 19 days the fourth job will get completed. 19 plus 2, 21. So after 21 days this job will get completed. So here you need to add TA, cumulative of TA. Understand it? First job completion require 4 days. So once the first job is completed, then only the second job will go into the processing. So till then it waits in the queue. That means it waiting time is 4 days. So and processing time is 7 days. 7 plus 4, 11. So by the time second job is completed, it takes 11 days. So delivery date, due date. This is CI. Completion time. Delivery time is for first job is 6, second job is 9, third job is 17, fourth job is 17, third job is 19. Next is you have to calculate the lateness. How many jobs are in late? Whichever is having positive value are late, as we have discussed in the above. Whichever is having negative value is, so this one, sorry, lateness is nothing but Ci minus Da. So I am completing in 4 days. I need to deliver in 6 days. So it is early. That means 4 minus 6 minus 2. It is represents earliness. This job is early. 11 minus 9, 2. It is late. Positive value. 19 minus 17, 2. 21 minus 19, 2. These three jobs are late. So answer is C. There are three jobs which are late, delayed. This is how we need to calculate it. So